Ductile detailing of frame for load combination dead load plus live load into load factor 1.5. Do the ductile detailing of the following frame. The loads shown on the frame are total factor loads. The partial safety factor for dead loads and live loads used is 1.5. Earthquake forces are calculated considering the earthquake zone 2. Note, as the earthquake loads are very small, we are assuming the width of column equal to 230 mm. Otherwise, in zone 3, 4, 5, the minimum dimension of the column should be greater than or equal to maximum of 300 or 20 times the larger diameter in the beam, diameter of the bar in the beam. Okay. The weather conditions are mild and the effective cover for both column and beam is to be taken as 50 mm. So this is the frame. Okay. And this is the bending moment diagram. This is the shear force diagram. Member 1 to 15 are columns, okay, and members from 16 to 25 are beams. These are beams, right? Okay. Now we start with the ductile detailing for beams. Okay, table showing the bending moment and shear force in beam. Effective cover in beam is equal to 50 mm, right? So let us start with, okay, B16, right? This is member number 16. This is this is the width of all the beams, this depth of all the beams, okay, and you can see over here these are moments. For member number 16, moment at left, this is moment at left, this is hogging moment, okay, so the tensile will be at top, okay, tension will be at top, that is 47.1. Then maximum positive moment near the midspan over here is 61.88, and support moment at, that is a right support, again this is the hogging moment, this is 150.09, this is over here, right? Shear force, shear at left support over here is 104, and at right is 145 over here, right? So this is how this whole table shows the summary of moment, shear force and axial forces, okay. This is axial force in the member, okay, axial force in the member, okay. Now Indian Standard Code 13920-2016 for beams, medium grade of structural concrete shall be M20, but M25 for buildings more than 15 meters in height in seismic zone 3, 4 and 2. Our is seismic zone 2. B is not, but not less than the required by IS 456 based on exposure conditions. Our exposure condition is mild, so the minimum concrete grade which we have to use is M20, okay, but we will use M25. Okay. Requirements of this section shall apply to beams resisting the earthquake induced effect in which the factored axial compressive stress does not exceed 0.08 FCK. Okay. If the member has to be designed as a flexure member, then the compressive stress should not exceed 0.08 FCK. That is, maximum axial compression force allowed in the beam is gross area of the beam section of the beam, okay, into 0.08 FCK. For beam size 230 by 525, okay, so this are the beam of size 230 by 525, okay, so cross sectional area, gross cross sectional area into 0.08 into FCK, okay, that is FCK is equal to 241.5. The axial compression force in the member should be less than 241.5, then it can be considered as a flexure member. Otherwise it has to be designed as a column member, right? We can see over here all this force is less than this, so we can design all these members as a flexure member, right? Okay. Now for beam size 230 by 450 mm, the maximum force is 207, and these two beams are of depth 450 mm, and the axial force is 60 and 42, which is less than 207. So again, this can be designed as a flexure member, right? beam shall be preferably Beam shall preferably have width to depth ratio of more than 0.3, that is taking the least depth out of this 525 and 450. So 0.3 into 450 is 135. Okay, so and we have provided 230 mm. Okay, so it's okay, right? We are satisfying the code clause. Okay, now coming to the check for the minimum depth required. Okay, for beam 230 by 525 mm, we know mu limit is equal to 0.138 FCKBD square for M25 grade of concrete and Fe415 steel. Our effective depth is capital D minus effective cover, that is 525 minus 50, that is 475. This is the formula. Okay, so we will take the maximum moment in this cluster. Okay, for this depth of beam, this is the moments which were coming on the beams. So out of this, the maximum is 159.46. Okay, so we'll check the minimum depth required for that moment. 159.5 I have taken over here. So D is found to be 448.4, which is less than 475. This is the provided D, okay, which is less than provided D. So the section is singly underenforced section. Okay, now for beam 230 by 450 mm, okay, again same formula, and the effective depth D is capital D minus effective cover, that is 450 minus 50, that is 400 mm. This is the effective D which we have provided. Okay, we are providing. Okay, and these are the two beams. Okay, these are the two beams, and the maximum moment in this is 74, right? So we will take that moment. So for that, the minimum D required comes out to be 305.38, which is less than 400. So it's okay. Okay, and the section is singly underenforced section, right? Okay, as for the maximum moments, the rectangular beam section is found to be singly underenforced section, so we will design all beams as singly underenforced section, right? Now, this is the formula which can be used for singly underenforced rectangular sections. FCK is 25, F5 is 415. Okay, as according to code, AST max has to be taken as 2.5%. Okay, for a beam size 230 by 525 mm, the maximum AST permissible is 3018, and AST minimum is given by this formula, and that is 349.156. Okay, B is equal to 230 and D is equal to 525. Similarly, AST max for beam 230 by 450 mm is 2587.5, and AST minimum is 300, right? Okay, now code also says that at least provide 50% of top steel at support in bottom extending into the support, but not less than maximum steel at support divided by 4. So let me explain what does this mean. Okay, this is the standard detail given in the code. Okay, so this is the top steel. Okay, at support the moment is going to be hogging, so this the tensile steel will come at the top. Okay, the code says at least 50% of this steel has to be provided at the bottom. Okay, which should be extended in the column. Okay, but this 50% should not be less than the maximum top steel in the whole beam divided by 4. Okay, so that is what this clause try to explain. Okay, now this is the table. This is these are beam numbers. Okay, this is hogging moment, right? At there is negative moment at left hand support. Okay, which we found from analysis. This is the negative steel required for this moment at the left support. This is the negative steel provided at the left support, right? This is the positive moment near midspan. Okay, This is the positive steel required, and this is the positive steel we are provided. This is the negative steel. This is a negative moment at the right hand support. This is the negative steel required at the right hand support, and this is provided at the right hand support, right? So this is the table showing the calculation of the longitudinal steel required, okay, for all the beams, right? Now let us take first case, beam 16. Okay, this is the moment. Put the value of moment over here, you get this steel. This is still required, okay, and we are providing two 16 mm dia. The area is 402. This area should be greater than minimum and less than maximum, right? So it is, so it's okay. Now let us see the detailing of beam B16. Okay, B16 and B17. Okay, so at left support we can see that we have provided two 16 mm dia bars over here, right? Okay, now moving forward. Okay, now coming to the positive steel, okay, that steel required at the midspan. This is the required and this is provided. We are providing two 16 mm dia, that is area is 402, which is greater than minimum and less than maximum, right? So this is the steel we have provided at the midspan, two 16 mm dia bars, right? Okay, now coming to the right hand support. Okay, right hand support, we are providing three number of 16 mm dia bar and one number of 25 mm dia bar. Total area is 1094, which is greater than minimum and less than maximum. Okay, so this is the steel we are providing on the right hand support, right? Okay, on supports the moments are hogging, so the main steel is at the top, and at midspan the moment is sagging, and so the tensile steel provided is at bottom, right? Okay, so we will let us see the detail. Okay, so we are providing over here, we can see three number of 16 dia bar plus one number of 25 dia bar. Total area is 1094. Okay, now coming to the clause of the code, that the steel to be provided over here at the bottom, okay, the steel which should be taken inside the extended into the column over here, positive steel at the bottom at the support should be 50, at least 50% of this. Okay, this steel is 402 mm square, so 50% of that will be 201 mm square, but this 201 mm square should not be less than this total maximum top steel divided by 4. Okay, so the total steel over here is 1094 divided by 4 is equal to 273 mm square. So 201 mm square is less than 273 mm square, so we have to at least provide 273 mm square over here, right? But we are providing more, so because we are continuing this bar in the extending this bar to the column, right? So instead of 273 mm square, we are already providing 402 mm square. Okay, so it is safe. Now coming over here, we have to provide 50% of this steel at the bottom. The total steel is 1094 mm square divided by 2 is round about 550 mm square. So we are providing three number of 16 mm dia bars whose area is 603 mm square, right? So we are providing more than required, so it is safe. Okay, so this two numbers of 16 dia bar are run throughout the beam, and one 16 mm dia and 125 mm dia bar is curtailed over here and here at a distance 1.5 meters. Okay, so this is how we do the detailing of the longitudinal bar. A very important point, that is anchorage length, right? The encouraged length to be provided is LD plus 10 times the diameter of the bar. So this is 16 mm dia bar. This is also 16 mm dia bar. So LD is the development length of a bar in tension. Okay. So encouraged length of 16 mm dia bar is LD for tensile bar plus 10 times the dia of the bar, which is equal to 805 mm. So this length to be provided is at least 805 mm. Okay. So this is very important. Okay. So this is how this is detailing for beam 16, 17, 20, 21, 22, 23. Similarly, detailing for B18 and 19, and this is detailing for B24 and 25. Okay. So same criteria is to be applied in detailing as we try to understand over here, right? Okay, so this is how we try to learn that how the longitudinal steel has to be provided in case of ductile detailing, right? Now, next step is coming for the check for shear, right? Shear force capacity of a beam shall be more than the larger of first factored shear force as per linear structure analysis. Okay, so we got the shear force over here. Okay, for beam 16, this is the shear at left and this is shear at right. So this is V left and this is V right, right? Similarly we have for all the beams. Okay, and the second criteria given by the code is the factored gravity shear force plus the equilibrium shear force given by V left equal to this and V right equal to this, right? So after these two criteria, we have to take the maximum VU left and VU right. Okay. Okay. Now coming to this point, how do we get this VU left? Okay. This is divided into two parts. This is first part, that is 0.5 WN into Ln. Over here, first we have to take the beam. We have to consider the beam as simply supported, and which is loaded with a load Wn, which is equal to dead load plus live load. These are working loads into load factor 1.2, right? So through this you will get a shear force VU left, that is equal to 0.5 Wn into Ln, where Ln is the clear span of the beam. Okay, Ln is the clear span of the beam. Okay, now how do we get this, right? So when there is a sway toward right, then the beam will deflect like this. Okay, so you will have a moment due to this is a moment of resistance. Okay, due to the steel provided in the tensile steel provided in the beam, right? So this is sagging, so this is mu left positive, this is hogging, this is mu right negative. Okay, so this will give us a shear force. This moment plus this moment divided by Ln will give you VU left, and similarly we will get VU right, right? Okay, when the sway is towards left, okay, the beam will deflect like this. Then you will have a moment like this. This is hogging, so mu left negative. This is sagging, so this is mu right positive, right? This will again give us a shear force VU left, VU right, right? Now how do we get this moment of resistance? Okay, so we will try to understand that. Okay, when the beam when the sway is towards left, this is how the beam will deflect. Okay, so this is hogging, so the tensile steel will be at top. This is sagging, so the tensile steel will be at bottom. Okay, when the sway is to right, then this beam will deflect like this. This is sagging, so the tensile steel will be at bottom. This is hogging, the tensile steel will be at the top. Okay, so this tensile steel will give a force T that is equal to 0.87 Fy into AST provided into lever arm will give you the MUR left, and this is negative because this is hogging. Similarly, this is MUR right positive because this is sagging. Similarly, this is MUR left, this is positive because this is sagging. This is MUR right, this is negative because it is hogging. Okay, so this is how we find the MUR. Okay, now so whatever you have to add this shear, you have to add this shear, you have to add this shear, you have to add this shear. So Then out of this 2 VU left, okay, the maximum you have to take, okay, that is given by this formula. Okay, out of this 2 you have to, the maximum VU right you have to take, which is given by this formula. Okay, so this is how you find VU left and VU right. Once you find this VU left and VU right, you have to compare this with this VU left and VU right. Okay, and you have to take the maximum out of this 2. Okay, so how to find x? Okay, our section is singly unreinforced section, rectangular section. Okay, x is the depth of the neutral axis. Simple, equating c equal to t, we get x. Okay, depth of the neutral axis. Once you know x, you can find MUR, that is t into lever arm. This is t and this is lever arm. Okay, right. Now this is the table. We'll try to understand with an example. Okay, for beam 16, right, B is equal to 230, D is equal to 525, AST minimum, AST negative left. Okay, AST negative, at support the moment is hogging, this main steel is at top, so it is negative steel, right? So let us see B16. Okay, this is 16. Over here we have provided two numbers of 16 mm diabar, so the area of this is 402 mm square. Okay, so we have taken over here 402 mm square over here, right? So once you know the steel, you can find x. Once you know the x, you can find MUR. Okay, so MUR negative left is found to be 64.73. So MUR left negative 64.73. Similarly, AST negative right provided. Okay, so that is at right hand support. Okay, so over here we are providing three 16 mm diabars plus 125 mm diabar. The area of this is 1094. Okay, so 1094. Okay, 1094, right? Find x, find MUR, which is 156.5. So MUR negative right, MUR negative right is 156.5, right? Now we have to find AST. We have to take AST positive left support, right? So negative steel is steel at the top. Okay, positive steel will be steel at the bottom, right? So at bottom of the left hand support, we have provided two number of 16 diabars, right? So the area of this is 402 mm square. Okay, so we will take over here 402 mm square, right? So x, find moment. So this is your M positive left. Okay, so M positive left is 64.73, right? Now EST right positive. Okay, so in that case we have to take 50% of this. Okay, so as per code says that you have to take 50% of the steel at the bottom. Okay, and of course it is greater than the maximum steel divided by 4. So this is the steel we are taking. Okay, so x found is 104.6 and MUR positive right is found to be 94. So this is 94, right? So this is how we find these four moments. Okay, now Wn, we know it is the working load, the dead load plus live load into 1.2, that is 40. Ln is the clear span of the beam, that is 4.4. So we get 0.5 Wn into Ln. Okay, so we know all the values. Put these values in this formulas. Okay, so you get VU left and VU right, right? This is how you get VU left and VU right. Okay, we can see over here that VU left is almost same for beam 16 to 23. Okay, it is almost same, and VU right is also almost same. Okay, there is not much difference. Okay, so we will keep the stirrup spacing same for beam 16 17, beam 18 19, b 20 21, and b 22 23. Okay, and for this beam 24 and 25, we'll again do the separate calculation, right? So now let us do the calculation for shear force. Okay, this is a standard detailing. Okay, whatever shear force we left, okay, VU left, we got maximum. Okay, for that this portion has to be designed. Okay, that is up to a length of 2d on this side, and this distance 2d from the right hand support has to be designed for VU right. Okay, maximum VU right, which we got over here, right, in the table, right? So we will try to find the spacing of the stirrups, do the calculation, and the in between area, okay, the spacing of the stirrups, you can say, should not be greater than d by 2. D is the effective depth. Okay, but if there is splicing over here, splicing of bar is done in that region, then for that length this the stirrup spacing should not be greater than 150 mm. Okay, okay, so in this region, okay, the spacing of this hook spacing should be less than a least of this, that is effective depth by 4, or 8 times the least diameter of the bar used in the beam, or 100 mm. Okay, over here and over here. So we will see, we'll do the calculation for beam 16. Okay, okay, left hand support. Now we found to be 138.5. Okay, so tau v is equal to V left divided by BD. So this is equal to 1.267 Newton per mm square. Okay, now tau v should not be greater than tau c max. Tau c max is 3.1 Newton per mm square for M25 grade concrete. We get this value from table 20 of IS 456 2000, right? Now EST left AST provided on left support is 402 mm square, which we just saw over here. Okay, 402 mm square. So from that we can find the percentage of steel. So PT is 0.368, and corresponding tau c from table number 19 for M25. Okay, we get tau c is equal to 0.435. Okay, so tau c is less than tau v, and tau v is less than tau c max. So we will have to provide stirrups, okay, for the additional shear force VUS. VUS left is equal to V left minus tau c BD. This is a formula given in the code. Okay, so VUS is found to be 90.98 kilonewton. Okay, so spacing can be found by this formula, where ASV is the total area of stirrup legs. Okay, we are using 2-legged 8 mm dia stirrups, so ASV is 100.48, right? So the spacing is found to be 189.4 mm center to center, but this spacing should be less than least of this. D is the effective depth. 475 divided by 4 is 118.75. 8 into smallest diameter, that is 16 mm, is the smallest diameter of bar used in P16, so that is equal to 128, and 100 mm. So least is 100 mm. We have to provide spacing less than 100 mm. Okay, so we will provide 2 legs 8 mm dia stirrups about 90 mm center to center in the distance 2d from the left hand support, right? So let us see the detailing. Okay, so this is left hand support, distance 2d. Okay, the spacing 2-legged 8 mm dia about 90 mm center to center. Okay, so this is how we get this, right? Now coming to the left hand support, right? Left hand support, tau v is found by V right by BD. VU right is found to be 158.4, right? So 158.4 divided by BD, this is 1.45, which is less than tau c 3.1. Okay, so it is okay. Now EST right on support provided is 1094. Okay, 1094 is a steel provided, top steel provided, main steel, tensile steel. Okay, we have to take tensile steel. Okay, so this is 1094. So PT is 1%, corresponding tau C is 0.64 for M25 grade concrete, right? Now tau C is again found to be less than tau V, and tau is less than tau C max. So we will have to provide shear reinforcement for the shear, to take the shear force VUS, which is equal to V minus tau C BD, which is equal to 88.5 kilonewton. Spacing found is 194.7 mm center to center. We are using 2-legged 8 mm dia stirrups, but this spacing has to be less than least of this, that is 100 mm. So again we will provide 2-legged 8 mm dia stirrups about 90 mm center to center in the distance 2D from right hand support. Okay, so over here distance 2D, and we are providing 8 mm dia stirrups 2-legged about 90 mm, okay, center to center, right? Now in between area we will provide 2-legged 8 mm dia about 200 mm center to center. We are assuming there is no splicing, is done. Okay, no splicing of bar is done over here. Okay, the bar is running through and through. Okay, so if there is splicing, then this spacing should not be greater than 150 mm. Okay, so in the remaining length of the beam, provide 2-legged 8 mm dia stirrups about 200 mm center to center, which should be less than d by 2, that is 475 divided by 2, that is 237.5. Okay, and we are assuming that there is no splicing. Okay, that is why. Otherwise you will have to provide the spacing to be less than or equal to 150 mm. Okay, now similarly let us do the calculation check for B24 and 25. BU left from the table is 83. Okay, 83, and this is BU right is 92.63. Okay, so let us take 83 over here. Okay, so tau is 0.902, less than tau C 3.1. Okay, AST provided at the top left support is 339. Okay, PT is found to be 0.368, so corresponding tau C is found to be 0.435, which is less than tau V. So we will have to provide shear reinforcement for VUS. Okay, so VUS is 43. Okay, the spacing is found to be 337.4. Okay, but this spacing should be less than least of this. Okay, over D is effective depth, that is 400. Okay, so 400 divided by 4 is 100. 8 into smallest diameter longitudinal bar used in beam, that is 12 mm. This is 96, this is 100, so least is 96. Our spacing should be less than 96. So we will provide 2-legged 8 mm dia about 90 mm center to center in the distance 2D from the left hand support, right? So we will see the detail. So this is beam B24-25. This is 2D from left support. Okay, and this is we are providing 2-legged 8 mm dia about 90 mm center to center, right? Okay, so now coming to the right hand support, V right is 92.63. Okay, tau V is 1, less than tau C max 3.1. so okay, AST provided is 603, PT is 0.655, so corresponding tau C is 0.546, which is less than tau V. So we will have to provide the shear reinforcement to take VUS, which is equal to 42.4. Okay, the spacing is found to be 342.3, but this spacing should be less than least of this, that is 96. So again we will provide 2-legged 8 mm stirrups about 90 mm center to center at a distance 2D from the right hand support, right? Okay, so we can see this detail. We are providing 8 mm dia about 90 mm center to center. Okay, this is 2D distance, right? And in between area we will provide 2-legged 8 mm dia about 200 mm center to center. We are assuming that there is no splicing done over here. This bar is running throughout. Okay, and no splicing is done over here. Otherwise the spacing of the stirrup should not be greater than 150 mm. Okay, so this is how you do the detailing of the beam. Okay, ductile detailing of the beam. Okay, one more important point is that over here, the first stirrup which you start, okay, should the distance from the support, this distance should not be greater than 50 mm, okay. So plus the hooks of the stirrup should be at 135-degree inclination, okay, which is very well explained in IS 13920, okay. Please refer to that code, okay, for the orientation of the hoops, okay. And the extension of the hoops to be done is everything is explained in detail in this code, okay. So the video and the PDF of this video, or you can say this file, is updated on website MMS program, mmsprogramcivil.com, okay. So you can go through this PDF so that you can understand the fundamentals more clearly at your ease, okay. So I hope you must have found this video helpful. Thank you.